Okay, hello.
Hello.
Welcome, guys, to episode 46 of Hello Hello the podcast. We are back from our week. Would you call it a break, Jens? Is it really a break when you don't you're not
You don't do
100%? You have to
anything? Yeah.
it's Is it a break? You know,
Health leave.
we're back. We're back from our sick leave. Put
Sick
it that way.
leave.
We're back from our week-long sick leave.
Yeah.
We did report it, so it's fine. You know, we're still fine with that. But yeah, we are back now, back to normal schedule. Hopefully, in the lead up to Christmas, Jens, because Christmas is right around the corner. Today is the 1st of December.
Isn't that
Can
scary?
you believe it? That is insane. I was at work this morning, and there was a couple of customers that were buying gift cards because obviously, gifts are starting to happen and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it almost caught me because you got to write the date on the back of the gift card to make sure that it's valid from this point forward. And it almost caught me that I wrote November, like the 11th,
Oh.
instead of the 12th month. And I was like, holy shit, I almost forgot. It's like it ticked over, and I can't believe it. Like we
Yeah.
have 30 days left of the year, pretty much.
Yeah. It's
Bonkers. But do you know
mm.
what is more important that we have much sooner than both Christmas
I
and
know.
New Year's, Jens?
I know.
We all know. Spider-Man's coming out.
Yeah.
December 16th. It's coming. We both have got our tickets, thankfully.
Nice.
But Jens, have you actually seen? I do want to bring it up. Have you seen? I know that people are. At least I hope people aren't buying the tickets at this price. But some people have been like scalping these No Way Home tickets, and like I've seen them on up with like thousands of dollars online. And I'm sure it's just people memeing, and they're like, no one's ever gonna buy it and stuff like that.
Gross.
And that's why I say I really hope no one's paying for these tickets, but it is. I would confidently say this is the biggest Marvel release since Endgame and Infinity War, like since those
I think so too.
Two films come out, because this is huge. Like this, honestly, to me, has for me personally, I am more hyped about this movie than I was for like Endgame and Infinity War. I think just because Spider-Man is like my absolute favorite, but it's gonna be bonkers. I cannot wait. I've told my friends that I'm doing from the Tuesday, I think, because it comes out on Thursday for us here in Australia, on Thursday the 16th. I've told my friends that I think from Tuesday morning, I'm
away
emitting
from your
internet.
phone. Yeah.
I'm going dark. Bravo 6, I'm going dark. I'm not doing anything. No Instagram, no Twitter, no Facebook, no Reddit, no nothing, no TikTok. I'm just gonna either be binging Netflix for like 3 days straight, or just like playing video games or whatever offline for like 3 days straight. I think that's gonna be my plan, because I'm not risking it.
That's fair enough. And you know how the internet's
I did
gonna
the same.
be. They're definitely gonna spoil it.
Exactly, because I'm anticipating that people are gonna either get leaks from somewhere, and then obviously people are gonna go to preview screenings and things like that, maybe a week or a couple of days in advance at best. And things will trickle out from there. And so I want to do everything that I physically can to
stop that,
block myself from spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm even going so far, Jens, as to when I get to the cinema, I'm putting on my noise canceling like earbuds, and I'm gonna play music really loud, just so the people that are also in the cinema that they might have come out from the previous session before ours aren't discussing it and being like, "Oh my god, did you see this happen?"
Right.
Oh my god, like because I'm like
I gotta.
I'm really
tickets.
committed. I'm really committed. I don't know if you will be able to anymore, man.
Probably
like for
not.
Thursday at least, you might be able to like for Saturday and Sunday, but for me, my local cinema already sold out.
When does it come out?
Day one, gone. Thursday, December 16th.
16th.
It is. So it is just over 2 weeks away. Just over.
Yeah, all the evening times are sold out on the 16th.
Yeah. You might be able to do, I don't know if your cinema's going to do it, but there are midnight release ones, and I was kind of disappointed that I totally forgot about midnight release screenings, because you're not committed enough? Man, I would have done it. But I totally forgot. I was lucky I woke up relatively early that morning, because I think we were going for a hairdressing appointment for Emma, and so I was just going to go with her. and I was lucky that I saw like the little video from Tom Holland that was like, "Hey, tickets
Oh,
are out," and I'm
yeah.
like, and I thought to myself, I was like, is it gonna be only US tickets that are out, like on that like Fandango or whatever it
Mm.
is, the Fandango app or something? And so I was like, look, I'll humor myself. I'll just check it and I'll see. Thank God he was right and they were out, and I was able to snag 2 tickets for me and Emma. And I was like,
And I'm looking at my
clutch,
local, not my local,
clutch.
but the cinema that we go to, and I can watch it on
Yeah,
Friday, no problem. So that's good.
do that then. Book it. I would book it as soon as we finish recording. Book it in
Yeah.
because it's yeah. I think if you leave it any longer, you're just gonna leave yourself open to spoilers and like you're obviously the tabloids like IGN and all those like pop culture tabloids are gonna start writing about it as soon as they
Mm.
possibly can. So it's like yeah, I
It's
can't risk it. I
pretty
can't risk it.
amazing seeing how much, like, how big this film is for people.
Yeah, yeah.
It's nice.
Like that's what I mean. It's like for me personally, and probably a lot of other people too. It is like the biggest thing to come out of Marvel. I think.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
and
for a
it's
while,
the cherry on top of the cake with Spider-Man on it, like at the helm. Like
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Because everyone loves Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
He's great.
we'll talk about more and more,
Enough
I'm
about
sure.
yeah, enough. We do have more Marvel things coming up later in the episode because obviously as I'm sure most of you guys are aware, Hawkeye is finally out. It's finally hit our screens. And so we are going to talk about what we thought about episode 1 and 2 because Marvel graced us with a double episode to start us off.
Yeah.
But yeah, just I do want to start off by doing our normal topics of what have you been up to for the past week, man? Like we went off on a little tangent at the start, then talk about Tom Holland's Spider-Man a fair bit. So you can sort of see where my mind is already.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
where have you been for the past week?
Dizzy. That's the
Yeah,
main reason why we cancelled last week was because of my dizziness.
yeah,
But other
yeah,
than that, Forza and
yeah,
Siege.
yeah.
Oh, I tried
That's it. We do have
unpacking.
the yeah. Did you? I remember you saying you were quite frustrated at it, which is
It
surprising
stresses me out.
because
Yeah.
yeah, I
Maybe
don't know
you'll
why.
feel the same way. Maybe.
Yeah, I did say in chat that I have only ever played the first like section of the game, I guess, because I am pacing myself
Right,
for it
right.
because I have heard from quite a few people that it is like roughly 3 hours long, which is quite short, like it's not the longest game. But I think I told myself I want to pace myself because I really want to enjoy this,
Hmm.
but I think I've paced myself just a bit too much,
That you just even haven't
because
even gone back to it.
I still haven't even had the time to go back to it yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just other things have come up, like we've been playing Battlefield a fair bit too.
Oh, that's right.
Um, it's which is quite a bit of fun. And then obviously the new Siege update is out today. So we're probably gonna be
Yeah.
playing that tonight.
And
Like
the
Jen said,
freaking
Forza's always been
Minecraft
around.
update.
And what a double header update day. Big Minecraft update,
I
big Siege
know.
update.
Like,
Damn.
what am I gonna
It's all
do?
happening. I mean, we do have a couple of monitors, so we could probably just like Minecraft
Yeah,
on
we'll do
one,
Minecraft and then Siege.
just alt tab,
Yeah.
alt tab between the two of them. It'll work. It'll work. But yeah, I'm honestly pretty much the same. I haven't been doing too much. Mainly Pokemon, honestly. Like
Yeah.
what I've been playing. Me and Emma have been like sort of laying in bed at the end of the day, doing a little bit of Pokemon. It's real fun. They have like the Grand Underground, which is like this obviously cave system under the Sinnoh region that you can now join friends and stuff like that. And so me
Okay.
and Emma have been running around this underground just mining out little Pokemon statues and stuff, and it's been really fun. So
So like a Minecraft?
that's kind of like Minecraft in Pokemon in a sense. Yeah, a little bit. It's like a
Interesting.
blend of Minecraft, Minesweeper, and Pokemon
Oh,
would
because you might
be.
get a bomb.
Yeah, well, it's not a bomb, but it's like when you start digging, you only have a limited amount of like pickaxe like hits,
Oh, I
I
see.
guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so you've got to be real selective with where you like choose to strike and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
so it's but that's basically what I've been doing. And one of my coworkers today at work actually lent me his copy of June, the novel June.
Oh,
Um,
good luck.
and so yeah,
Have you tried
I
it
was like,
before?
no, never.
Oh, okay.
And it's like I know the film comes out I think tomorrow in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Um, if I do recall correctly. Yeah, and like that's how we got onto the topic was because he was going to see it.
Right.
And I was like, look, I've always been sort of interested in Dune, but I know that it's quite tricky to
It's
like
very
get
hard.
into because it has like a big sort of like a lot harder than say Harry Potter or like some other novels and
Harry
quite popular
Potter.
novels and
Hang
things.
on. Harry Potter is actually really hard. Like as a kid, when I was
Really? See, how old were you when you read it though?
I don't remember.
Like, are we
I didn't
talking?
like books.
Yeah,
I
okay.
hated books. So I
Yeah,
thought
see, I
Harry
was
Potter
the
might be
same.
alright.
I sort of didn't like books all that much. I was more of a comic kid,
Oh,
and
okay,
things
yeah,
like that. So I was still reading, but it was obviously mainly pictures and
yeah. Yeah.
all that sort of stuff and comic cells. But yeah, Harry Potter the series was like probably the largest book series that I have ever read. And I think I probably like I started maybe in year 7, so I would have been 12 or 13 at the time.
Okay, yeah.
Um, so probably just starting to turn into a teenager and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, I was able to grasp them quite well, and I did
Just me.
obviously because obviously I had the first like 3 or 4 films that already come out by then, but by the time I was like reading them, I got hooked and I just blitzed through all of them. And I managed to catch up to and beat the progress of the films or whatever. So
Oh,
I was
nice.
able to see like I think the last 2 or 3 uh films with having read the book prior,
Yeah.
which yeah. But I
Speaking
do
of
highly recommend
Dune,
those.
I did try
They're good fun.
Dune, and I was like,
The
I
book, the
don't think
novel?
yeah, the novel.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't think I knew English. It's so hard.
Yeah, well, for
It's
those that don't
so
know,
hard.
June is like sort of, I guess, like I would say
Mm.
the first mainstream popular science fiction like novelization. In for lack of a better terms, like I think it was written well before Star Wars, written well before like all those big sci-fi movies that have come out around that time.
Yeah.
But it is quite advanced in the sense that in the back of the book, there is
Just
actually a
yeah.
dictionary
Yeah.
of terms, because the author had made up his own terminology for some things, for a fair few things too. I did flick through the dictionary because I was like, I wonder how bad it is. Like if it's 2 pages, I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool.
It's a lot.
It's like 9 or 10 pages
Yeah,
of a
it's a
dictionary. Like
lot.
it's a decent little like section.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's like when you're reading through this book, you've got to like if you get a word and you're like, what the fuck does this mean? You have to flick all the way to the back of the book, read it, and be like, oh, okay.
What if
I
it's
see.
just like a regular word? You were just like, what is that?
I'd feel so dumb then. I'd feel so dumb. Don't, yeah, because I can tell I'm probably gonna do that at some point,
Mm.
right? Like I'm probably gonna.
Oh, me.
But no, I said I'll give it
absolutely.
I'm gonna give it a solid crack.
Well, good
I
luck.
reckon around my age now, it would be probably the best time to try and grasp it. Like I felt like if I was any younger, I would probably not understand it too much and not be able to follow it. But I feel like now might be the perfect time.
Yeah.
Might be. I don't know. We'll see how we go. But gents, enough intro. Do you want to start us off with some of these quick fire news topics this week? Because it wasn't the busiest week, but we did still find a couple of things to talk about, which I think are quite interesting.
Yeah, a lot of the news seems to be about Black Friday. Did you
So, yeah.
did you take advantage of Black Friday?
What did I buy? I don't think I bought anything.
I definitely
honestly.
did. I
think I'm
just
trying.
can't tell you right
I-
now on the top of my head.
I think I'm trying to save
Oh,
mostly
good.
at the moment. Like the one thing I do want is a muscle gun, and I forgot to look during Black Friday
Oh,
and all that because I think I was just quite busy with
massage
work or
thing.
something else. Yeah, like a massage gun or whatever. But
Yeah.
I can't remember. No, I don't think I picked anything up. Nothing, nothing to write home about. At least if I
Yeah.
did buy anything, like
Fair
it
enough.
wasn't important enough that I can recall it right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
but yeah.
Should we
Now, do you want to
start with
start us
the
off, gents,
news?
with this fun Fortnite topic? Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously like shoes and everything.
Yeah, right at my warehouse. Right at my warehouse.
Yeah, exactly. Air Jordans are like really popular and hard to get. They're dropped, and then do you have to try and get a chance to buy them? Are they
It depends. It depends on the model.
okay? Yeah,
So a lot of the collaboration models you will have to like register your interest in, and the usually if it's a good store, it'll be a good raffle system where it'll just randomly select like however many pairs they got allotted, like 200 customers, and then you get to buy those pairs.
yeah,
Um, but the Jordans that I have were sort of more of a general release pair we call them,
yeah.
where it's like they will still sell out, and my pair did still sell out on the Nike website, but it just goes live all at once.
Mm,
And then you basically just have to rush to put it in your cart as fast as you can and check out. Um, and yeah, so
yeah,
it all depends, but they are very popular. They are very
yeah.
popular shoes.
They
Yeah.
are. I've actually been eyeing one to try and get just because
There's
of.
a really nice you go to supply store.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They're my sneaker plug for like all things sneakers at the moment.
yeah.
Like that's all I shop at. The Armand Mia Air Jordan 1s on raffle at the moment, and they're
Mm.
quite nice. They're a nice neutral sort of color. They're like a cream white base with burgundy accents,
Oh,
and
sounds
so like
good.
they're quite nice. I'm intrigued in trying my luck, but I'm also like I don't want to spend money if I can help it. So,
Yeah.
but it's yeah.
But yes. Anyways, the Air Jordan shoe craze is coming to Fortnite apparently.
It should read coming back because
Oh.
they have already done a collaboration with Jordan in the past. And I did buy that skin.
Oh
So
really?
I do already own Fortnite Jordans in the game.
Look at you.
But yeah, this when I was reading up on this one, it looks like they're doing the Cool Grey 11s
Yeah.
because they're getting retroed, I think, in the next month or two around the world, and so they're putting them in Fortnite as well.
Yeah, as well as some hoodies. I think there was a hat, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're basically
You're
bringing this
basically dripped
lineup.
out in Jordan gear.
Yeah,
Like,
which is
yeah.
interesting considering Fortnite's always done like, like skins. So like a
Yeah.
different TV character
it is a
skin
bit
or something.
it is a bit weird seeing like a brand
Yeah,
in the game rather than like buy the Black Widow skin or like buy the
yeah,
the
exactly.
Sunstriker skin or something. It is a bit interesting.
They
And
did
they do go on to
Balenciaga
say,
prior.
yeah, they did the collab with, and there were even tangible items that you could go to a
Yeah,
Balenciaga store and buy, which
yeah.
were very gaudy.
I didn't like them.
Please, no, they were horribly executed. There were much better ways that you can
You
blend
could easily make that at home.
the two brands. Yeah, oh, right.
Anyways.
But that's also Balenciaga. They're quite lazy, I feel like, in most of the times. But anywho, but yeah, it does go on to say it's very interesting that it's like, you know, Epic is very much into the idea of building its own metaverse, very similar to like Facebook and
Yeah.
that brand, building Meta and stuff. So it goes on to say it wouldn't be shocked if we do see more, customization options for like the Fortnite avatars in the future with more brands, like not just
Mhm.
Jordan, but like Nike as a whole, Adidas, like Balenciaga, Gucci, like all these brands would start incorporating digital designs onto their avatars that people can walk around in this metaverse with and, sort of have their online persona, I guess.
It's
Like,
pretty crazy thinking that
it is.
the whole idea of the metaverse. I won't get into it because I don't know a lot about it.
No, I don't understand it or why we're doing
Neither.
it or what it's for. It's yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's very much
It
the Ready
it
Player
feels
One.
very I was gonna say it feels very dystopian.
Yeah.
Like, we are slowly progressing ever so slightly closer to we're already in a very corporatized world where like everywhere you look you're seeing advertisements, you're getting like push products down your throat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we are ever so slightly progressing to a very much a darker state of that, where just everything is branded, everything is
Yeah, I mean, people wear
in your face, like it's
Nike. The Nike shirt is the Nike tick. It's not like
yeah.
anything
I legitimately have a shirt that is
that is
just
full
Nike
of Nike
ticks all
ticks.
over it.
Yeah,
There's
it's
just
a good
Nike ticks,
shirt.
yeah. It's a very nice shirt. I do like it. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, I am a walking billboard. At the end of the day, I am a walking billboard. So, but it's no, it is. It's a very interesting topic. To sort of discuss and
Yeah,
and
the
ponder
meshing
what
of it
could be.
all. It's
Yeah,
scary.
because it's
But
it is.
anyways.
But I guess we sort of just gotta like wait and see where it goes. Like
Yeah, how
the
far it'll
metaverse might
go.
not even it might not even catch on. People might not want to sign up for it and be like, it's too much effort. Like you've got to dress yourself in the real world as it is, and now you got to tell me I got to dress my digital avatar too. Like
But I
that's a
wonder
lot.
if the
Like
metaverse is it like The Sims where you can basically buy anything you want, or is it all very much like if you have this at your
yeah,
house, IRL, you will have it in the
in
metaverse
the meta.
house. So
Yeah,
you can't
yeah, yeah.
doll
I kind
your
of get that. Yeah.
yeah. Anyways, it's just weird. It's a
Hmm.
weird thing that's happening. Same with
Mark
and
Zuckerberg, come on the podcast. Tell us about the metaverse. What is it? Why? Like, you
yeah.
know. Yeah. But moving on, Jens.
Mm.
Um, a Marvel MMO. Quite a stark turn of events. But a Marvel MMO is coming from the developers from the DC Universe Online MMO, which is quite interesting. So this is still an unannounced MMORPG, which is based on some Marvel IP. Is it works at Dimensional Incorporated, the studio behind the DC Universe Online, um, which is quite a popular online
Yeah,
MMORPG from
right.
my understanding. Like I've gotten into it a little bit because I do like superheroes and all that sort of stuff, and I did try it. But it is quite monetized,
Oh,
because
yeah.
obviously it is a free to play game, so it's like it's quite monetized. Um, but yeah, it I can see why they would want to get in on the Marvel IP if they can afford it. Like that's
It's quite an
huge,
expensive
Like
IP.
yeah, yeah, I can imagine. Um,
But
but yeah,
I think it could, I don't know, it's hard because superhero stuff, like even the games, like the Avenger game doesn't do well. So I feel like
no,
there's a real fine line with superhero stuff. I feel they
yeah.
haven't quite nailed gaming. I mean, the
I
Spider-Man
I
game's
feel
great.
like yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I have made myself my
Batman.
own personal rule that I will only ever buy superhero games that are like single player or like
Mm,
very story driven and story focused. So like obviously the Batman Arkham series that Jen just brought up, incredible games, incredible
yeah.
series of games. The new Spider-Man games that are coming out that are only on the PlayStation consoles,
Yep.
incredible games, amazingly done. And then obviously we're getting the Wolverine game that's coming
Oh yeah.
from Insomniac Studios as well. It's sometime in the future. Who knows? We still, ETB on that.
We got the
Or ETA,
Justice
sorry, I should say.
League.
Yeah, the Justice League,
I'm not
Kill
sure
the
how
Suicide
that's gonna
Squad.
go.
That one, yeah, that one I'm a little bit on the fence about.
Mm,
I am still interested in it because it does look like a bit of fun, but
yeah.
I'll see how we go. And then also we're getting the new edition, the Arkham Knights that's coming out at the start of next year, I think. Um, so they're following on in that Arkham storyline ish.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, I feel like I've made the conscious decision to only buy those type of games, because we can see like all obviously these MMORPGs, these free to play online ones, like I said, are very heavily monetized. So it's like I don't want to pay $120 just to get the Spider-Man like character,
yeah.
Like it's a bit much.
And there's only so
It's a
many
bit much.
superheroes if you want to roleplay them. There's like, say,
That's it, yeah.
yeah, and then it'd just be
Like
weird.
you sort of only pick one. Like everyone has like one or two like superheroes that like these are great, and then all
Yeah,
the other ones are like, I'll give or take them.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah,
but
I don't
yeah,
know how they're gonna do it.
no. I mean, I'm assuming if it's coming from the same developers that have done the
Hmm.
DC Universe Online, it's going to be a very popular game. Like people are going to play it. You know,
Yeah.
um, everyone loves an online MMORPG. Everyone loves superheroes. Putting those two together, you're bound to get success.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it just depends on like if they can write any cool storylines or something to go alongside it. So we'll have to wait and see because there are no details on the game or any release dates available. It's just sort of like we are making this.
Yeah.
Be ready. Um, but yeah, moving on, Jens. We did touch on a little bit about us playing Battlefield 2042 at the start of the episode. We have been
Mm-hmm.
playing that and enjoying it quite a bit. It's not the most perfect game, but it is still enjoyable in some lights. Um, but in a very very interesting sort of turn of events, Farming Simulator 2022, the new one that came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago or something like that,
Yeah.
has peaked at more concurrent players than Battlefield 2042 on Steam.
It's actually,
That's pretty.
it hurts.
That's incredible
to hear it, but it's
Yeah.
not a surprise because of how
I
Battlefield's
understand.
launch
I
has
understand.
happened.
Yeah. I
Also,
understand.
Farming Simulator 22 looks great. Like,
I was gonna say we might have to play this one.
it's
though.
co-op.
We might have to pick it up. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of streamers like because you can start a farm
Yeah.
and then you and all your friends, very similar to like Minecraft, I guess, in a sense, where you can just all work together on the one farm, and it's like it sounds kind of fun and peaceful.
Yeah.
And like just zen. Like
Exactly. And there's animals.
I'm here for it.
Apparently.
Yeah, like what's not to love? Like
I
know.
will definitely try and check this out.
yeah. It's But a little bit more. Farming Simulator is the 8th main series in the game. Farming Simulator 19, the last entry that came out, they skipped 2020 and 2021 by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Sold well over 2 million copies, which is incredible
That's
for
amazing.
a game that at its core is about digitally running a farm.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, there's no incredible storyline. There's no like explosive new technology. There's no you run a farm, like, and it's a simulator too. It's not like you run a farm that's quite humorous or quite anything like that. It's
realistic.
a dead set farm.
Yeah.
Like it's quite realistic. It's which is something else.
That's pretty great.
It's you know what? I'm happy for the farming simulator devs. Good on them. Giant Software, keep it up. It seems people love farming games, so keep pumping them out.
This one, I'm
Jenz, do you
very
want to talk about
excited
this Sims 4 update? Because I was going to say, I feel like this is right up your wheelhouse. You're very excited for this stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't play The Sims. I like to build in the Sims. But
I am very much like you.
Yeah.
I feel like we are very casual Sims fans where, like, everyone goes through their Minecraft phase where you play Minecraft nonstop for about a week and a half, like 2 or 3 times a year, and then you like never touch it in between that.
Yeah.
You have like I don't even want to think about Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's the same sort of I think with me with Sims is like I'll go through 1 or 2 weeks a year where I'm like, bro, Sims is the fucking best game ever.
Yep.
I play nothing but Sims, and then after that I'm like, you know what?
I'm kind of
Don't even talk to me about Sims because I feel like I'm gonna throw up if I do any more Sims. Like it's just, but yeah.
But the upcoming pack that is coming to The Sims 4 is called Neighborhood Stories. And this is really interesting because you can actually like control and affect your neighbors directly. Which, like the last time I played Sims, I was really like curious about my neighbors. So the fact that this is coming out is really interesting to me. It's coming out November 30th, so it is out.
So it's already out. But yeah, cool.
So without switching your characters, you'll be able to influence Sims you're not actively playing, which is crazy.
Wow.
And they're adding 2 new ambitions, which is a thing that I don't really care about. That I only build.
Yeah, we only build.
Yeah. One of them is called Villainous Valentine and will reward players for destroying love lives.
Oh,
both
damn.
their own and the love lives of other Sims. So you can like properly like get up in their grill and like either matchmake or
you can
break it
can
up.
ruin their lives.
Yeah. Which is like
that's diabolical.
I know. It's the whole like living in a simulation, just being able to control absolutely everything around you is crazy.
You are like it's now you have all of the puppet strings like on your fingers. Like before you only had 1 or 2 because it was just your sim that you could control and like your immediate family like your husband or your children or your pets or whatever. But now you can control like the whole street and it's like, ooh, okay. That's kind of fun.
It's pretty nuts. So yeah, that's coming. That's already out. So I'm just curious.
You might also be able to pick up some of these packs as well. I did think I saw
with the
a bunch of ads for Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales for Sims 4, so they might still be on sale if you guys are quick. By the time this goes up, I'm not too sure, but I do think I still recall seeing some of them. So yeah.
Yeah.
because they can get expensive, which I think we've gone into on one of the other episodes, one of the past episodes. I think we calculated uh how much it would cost for you to buy the base
We
game
did.
and
It was a
all
lot.
of the content. It was like, yeah, well over $1,000, I think,
Oh, easily.
if I recall correctly.
Easily.
Yeah,
There's so much
yeah.
to it.
There's too much, I think, sometimes.
I'm so
It's like
curious if it'll.
it's hard to keep up.
It is. I'm curious if it'll go and translate into Sims 5 if that's ever happening.
You know what? I don't feel like it will.
Neither.
Like we know Sims 5 is coming because I think a year or two ago they announced that yes, we are making it, and it's like we didn't get a release date or anything like that, but yes, they were working on Sims 5 things and all that
Mm.
sort of stuff. But yeah, I feel like especially with EA at the helm, they're not going to let you transfer over
Yeah, no. They're just
like
gonna want
game
more
packs
money.
because, I mean, it'd be crazy if they did. Absolutely
Right?
bonkers.
It'd be very
if
nice
they
if
did.
they did.
Like, yeah, it would be incredible because I do see a lot of developers these days trying to steer away from like paid DLCs and stuff like that because no one really does paid DLCs anymore. You know, like all the Call of Duty updates are all free now. Like
Mm.
they're not $25 for the new maps and stuff like that every 4 months. They're not, nothing like that. You just buy the battle pass, which is how they get you to sort of monetize their game continually.
Yeah.
So there is, I guess, potential for them to scrap their method of, uh having paid downloads and stuff like that and sort of just letting you use all your old stuff. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Have to wait and see. Now I know we didn't obviously do an episode last week, but this is the one thing I wanted to touch on, was the launch of Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition.
Hmm.
It's a bit of a mouthful. But it did have a bit of a botched release,
Yeah.
which I'm sure you heard about, Jenz, and I'm
Yeah,
sure a
I
bunch
think
of
we
other people heard
spoke about it really briefly.
Yeah, it might have been real briefly, but it had a pretty botched release. For all platforms, not
Yeah.
just one platform, not just like it was on Switch or something like that and ran a bit stuttery. No, it was all platforms had a pretty botched release. And I think most of them for like pretty different reasons. Like the PC players couldn't even access the game because the Rockstar service went down. The PS4 and Xbox One players and stuff like that had their own list of bugs, and the PS5 and Xbox Series players had their own list of bugs too. And it was like, it's a mess.
Mm.
But Rockstar has released a patch today, actually, earlier this morning, that fixes a whopping 117 bugs in the
Ooh.
game. 117 bugs. That's incredible. So I just want to go into a few fixes worth mentioning. Multiple adjustments to the game's sometimes obnoxious rain effects, which I can understand because I have seen a couple of clips where, obviously the easiest thing for them to update in these new versions of the game is those particle effects. So, lighting and rain and water reflections and all that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
That's quite simple for them to update and change. But it seems like they just turned the slider up just a bit too much for the rain, where it was just getting in the way a bit too much. And so they have, to be exact, 15 bug fixes just for the obnoxious rain effects.
Wow.
Just for the rain.
Jeez.
One, which was quite incredible when I read this.
Mm.
There are bug fixes for misspellings on signs.
Oh no.
Misspellings, Jens. Of all things,
Yeah, that's feel
misspelt words on signs. That's rough. That is rough.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. And there is a little bit of a reason, which I'm going to get into in a second,
Okay.
for I think this, which is quite interesting. But one of the last ones that they did, a lot of people had an issue with too, was they fixed an issue, in quotations, with the shape of the donut and nut props at Tough Nuts Donut Shop.
Oh,
So
okay.
for those that haven't played it, there is a store called Tough Nuts Donut Shop. And obviously above the store there's a big donut,
Mm-hmm.
and then next to it on either side there are two smaller nuts, like from a nut and bolt.
Oh.
But what Rockstar did when they remastered these games was a lot of the textures that were being remastered were run through some AI like upscaling software stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and the AI upscaling stuff must have assumed that the bolts were meant to be round and rounded the bolts out. So now it didn't, like the joke of
Oh, I
Tough Nuts Donut
see.
Shop didn't have the same effect because it now just looks like a set of three balls on top of or three like circles on top of the shop, like
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
make sense. Um,
That's so weird.
and that's also what I'm assuming the misspelt signs were
Mm-hmm.
because they would have run like the signs and all the signage through this AI upscaling software, and it would have detected some text or some numbers and stuff like that, and assumed it was something else and tried to change it, and that's how you got the misspellings.
Right.
So I'm assuming that's what it is. But what do you think about a company like Rockstar, which makes billions of dollars, millions and millions of dollars, and billions of dollars, using AI and then not even proof checking it before releasing it?
Yeah.
Like this could have very easily been play tested and been like, this doesn't look the same as what it did before, and why is this sign say
Mm-mm-mm.
chimken instead of chicken? Like, like it's
Yeah.
quite simple to sort of check up on. And
It
so
could
it
have been
it was
really
quite an
bad
interesting
too.
point of like it could have been really bad, a lot worse. Um but it's a really interesting point of topic to sort of discuss because like yeah, Rockstar could easily afford, playtesters to sit through it and
Mm.
find all these little issues and stuff like that. But it seems like they just didn't and they just released it, which is why I want to sort of bring it up because it's
I wonder if they just had like a
it's
smaller
just
team working on it.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was like a sub team within Rockstar or
Feel
if it was
like
like one of their sister or brother companies.
because
Like,
it wasn't
you
such
know,
like celebrated news that it was launching or whatever.
no. I mean, people were excited for it because of the
Yeah,
nostalgia and stuff
absolutely.
like that. But they were when they sort of saw gameplay, they were like, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's worth the $99 they want to charge us for it.
Oh, okay, that's quite steep.
Yeah, which was another sort of interesting point too, because like it cost you $100, I think, to buy it on my PS5. I think it was 100 Australian dollars, if
It's
I recall.
nuts.
And you think it launches with 117 plus bugs. There's still
Yeah.
bugs that they haven't been able to fix yet, or they're still getting to and things. But you think it launches with this amount of issues, like and bad textures and misspelled signs and stuff, and it's like
Mm.
you'd feel quite shafted if you paid $100 for this and this was the output,
Yeah.
like because it's just lazy at the end of the day. Like it's just lazy. But yeah, just a little bit more. Since its launch on November 11th, this trilogy has been an absolute shambles. So, like I sort of touched on before, PC players were locked out from playing the game for days, and Rockstar themselves had to remove files that were unintentionally included within the
Oh
trilogy.
no.
So some of the files were unearthed by data miners, which included things like cut songs, developer notes, and also the infamous hot coffee sex minigame.
Do you know this minigame?
Which yeah, I know the history of this game. This specific one, this
Mm.
hot coffee sex minigame, this seems like uh absolute bullshit. Like there is no way that you launch a game 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You come out with GTA San Andreas
Yeah.
and you take this minigame out of the game then 20 years ago, right? You take it out. And then people can still play it if you get like a cracked version of the game, or if you like sort of download the small patch
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure like from somewhere online, you can still play it. But you're telling me that Rockstar, again, one of the largest video game companies in the world,
Mm-hmm.
20 years later, released this
Ooh.
game and didn't take out this thing
Yeah.
again. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. I feel like Rockstar want to get it out there because it would be like exactly like what it was 20 years ago. Like the
Right.
players that could access it were, quite excited and could access it and stuff like that. And I feel like they wanted to sort of replicate that again. But yeah, to me, I don't know. To me, it's just a bit sus.
Right.
Like it seems a bit too convenient and all that
Yeah.
sort of stuff. So
I don't know, but AI
I
did
don't
do
know.
this, didn't they?
That's true. But again, like you could very easily
Mm.
just tell one specific person, hey,
Don't add that.
don't run this part through the AI software
Yeah.
because it is being deleted. Don't. Like it's quite a simple sort of thing you know, to squeeze in, but I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. I think if I was to pick up the trilogy, I would wait until it comes on quite a decent sale
Yeah, for like
because,
$20
you
or
know,
something.
yeah. Yeah, I'll wait a year or two, and
Oh,
see what it's at then.
good idea.
By then, we might even have GTA 6. Who knows? Um,
Maybe.
who knows? Yeah. But moving on, Jens. Have you played Halo Infinite on Game Pass yet? Have you managed to download it and give it a
I
go, or are
have
you still sort of
downloaded
waiting?
it, but I
Okay,
haven't
yeah.
played it.
Well, you might want to hold out for a little bit
Oh,
because it seems like they are having quite a bit of a cheating problem.
you know what?
Just a little
Of
bit
course.
of a cheating problem.
Of course.
Yeah. Are we surprised? No.
No.
But it does get a little bit more surprising as the story goes on because there are some decisions that were made by
Oh, okay.
Microsoft and 343 Industries, which I feel like are quite sort of dumb
Like, why did
for,
you?
for lack of
Yeah.
a for lack of a better term.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why. But
Spill
yeah.
the tea.
So to sort of preference this story, Halo Infinite has had an eventful launch. It released over half a month early and was met with critical acclaim with, how good it felt and
Mm-hmm.
played, and like, players were loving it. And then it also did get quite a bit of backlash for its progression system and
Mm-hmm.
how slow and sluggish and like just sort of, misconstrued it felt,
Yeah.
you know? So it's sort of had its up and downs, but for the most part, I have heard a lot of praise for Halo Infinite, and a lot of players have been loving it. Um, since the dust has settled and players have gotten more comfortable with the game and how like its progression system works and how the game all runs, new problems have emerged, and the biggest one from a lot of vocal players are the in-game cheating
Mm-hmm.
that has been going on, allegedly. Now, I haven't played the game yet. I'm sort of like Jen's. I've downloaded it, but I just haven't had the chance to get into it. I'm quite interested to see how it plays because I haven't really played that much of a Halo game in the past. But, you know, with this cheating stuff, I might, like I said to Jen's, I might have to hold off a little while
Mm-hmm.
and see if they fix it out. But things have gotten so bad, according to some, that a very vocal portion of the game's console player base is asking for an option to disable crossplay.
Oh, yeah.
Which this is one of the things that there's a couple of other ones, but this is one of the things that was like, I don't know why they wouldn't include this initially,
Yeah.
like specifically for the console players, because I know a lot of console players don't want to go up against someone that's on a keyboard or mouse
Yeah.
because that's
It's
quite an
just not
unfair
fair.
advantage. And then I guess vice versa too. Like if you're on a keyboard or mouse, you don't want to go up against someone that has aim assist on a controller.
Yeah.
Like that's also kind of unfair. So it's like it can go both ways. But it's very interesting that they didn't put in an option to disable crossplay on either system. Going on though, Jens,
Mm-hmm.
this is the second most interesting part and the main like brunt of my why wouldn't you not add this
Yeah.
sort of argument. But Halo Infinite has no client-side anti-cheat tools, which are a standard for most online PC games, especially AAA ones.
Yeah.
So if you've ever played a game with like BattleEye, for example, like Siege uses BattleEye, that's a client-side anti-cheat system.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, Halo Infinite relies on a server-side system that attempts to identify cheaters and boots them from the game.
Mm-hmm.
This implementation is usually far less effective than client-side for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
But it's also significantly less invasive. Like you don't need to download any extra software or
Right.
stuff like that
Yeah.
to get it to work, so it's like it has its pros, it has its cons, but I feel like its cons very much outweigh its pros. So, cheats have ranged from the typical wall hacks and aimbots, and some have even claimed to have seen infinite grenades and ammunition, like players just running around spamming fire on like the sniper rifles and just throwing grenades
Oh,
left, right, and
okay.
center and not running out at all,
Yeah. Right.
So amid these complaints, and 343's promise to address cheating, some console players are demanding, Jens, the ability to disable PC crossplay. But again, this does have its pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
So this, disabling PC crossplay either on console or on PC and vice versa, will effectively split the games community.
Yeah.
Which you typically don't want to do. Especially for a game like Halo, which only launches on PC and Xbox. Like it's not like it's running on Nintendo Switch and
Yeah.
PS4, PS5, so you can already have like just console players playing and just PC players playing. Like it's only on these two sort of systems. So you're already sort of in your own closed community, in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. And then at the end of the day too, disabling crossplay doesn't fix cheating. Like
True.
at the end of the day, the cheating is still going to be there. It's just going to be mostly on the PC player side.
Yeah.
Um, at the very least, too, many players are calling for the addition of an in-game reporting system to flag cheaters, which again, I'm quite surprised didn't launch with the game, considering
Yeah.
that the only part of the game that has launched so far is the multiplayer aspect, which is where you would find cheaters. Like, you're not going to find cheaters in the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting that it launched without these feature sets. As the only current option to report players is through the game's official support page, which means you have to have access to a phone or a laptop or a computer or some other device, unless you wanted to use like the inbuilt browser on the Xbox or the whatever it is.
No, you don't want to do that.
Which it's just a much clunkier option than just clicking a few buttons like in the menu, like right click on a player's name, report for cheating, abusive chat. Like you give a couple of options and it's
yeah.
I don't know. It's
I wonder
like,
if it's
as
because...
much praise as Hell's been getting, it's just very interesting. That it's launched with these sort of missing gaps in its feature
and it's
set.
huge missing gaps. Like just cheating on PC on any competitive game is multiplayer game
That's
is
what
like
I mean.
the number one thing that you need to address,
You would
because it's
think that
always
would
going to
be
happen.
it would be at the top of their priority list for most developers.
That's
like
a shame.
is to inhibit the ability, because at the end of the day too, like yes, you can use BattleEye and yes, you can use like all of these other client side cheating detecting softwares and whatnot. But they do it's sort of like probably a bad example, but it's like a condom. Like yes, the condom works 99% of the
Right,
time, but you are still going to get cheaters. There's people that are dedicated enough that will find a way around BattleEye's detection and all these other clients. Like there are ways around it. It just does inhibit 99% of the cheating population. In that they struggle to pull it off. So it's and again, very similar to Rockstar. Microsoft could easily afford employing BattleEye for something like this, or any other cheat detection software, or even creating their own. They could have developed one alongside this. Like it's they have more than enough funds to do this. So it's
silly.
Yeah, it's just again developers being lazy. Like
I just wonder if it's an oversight or I don't know.
It's like having said that, the game the game did launch
a month and a half
about
early.
A month early. Like it is sort of well ahead of schedule. So they could have been like, hey, push it out now. We'll fix that up later, or it's still not even in the process of being created yet or implemented, or who knows. But 343 are adamant that they are doing something to address the cheating. So they at least are aware of it. They've heard the player base. They understand where they're coming from, and they are working to try and fix it. We just have to wait and see what that fix is going to be and how long it might be. But hopefully not too much longer.
Well, okay, I shall wait before I play the game.
That's what I was going to do too. I think Now, we haven't done this in a little while, Jenz.
I know,
but our Marvel Disney Plus shows are back with a double episode of Hawkeye.
Yes.
So, as we are going to probably not too much go into spoiler talks, but there are other potential for spoilers. If you guys haven't seen Hawkeye's episode 1 and 2 yet, I would recommend turning off the podcast or skipping to the next section, just in case you don't want to get spoiled, But if you have watched it, or if you do want to get it spoiled for whatever reason, we're going to give you our thoughts on what we thought about Hawkeye episode 1 and 2. Jenz, I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was actually quite pleased with it. It's not like the most incredible show so far, but it was still enjoyable. It had a really good production value. I really liked the new addition of all the new characters and stuff like that. It's just it's nice and cozy, if that makes sense too, because it's all Christmassy and stuff. It's quite cozy. The story is quite fun as well so far, like with all of the collecting back the sort of Ronin stuff from what he's done in the past. And like with all the mafia and the mobs and stuff like that all coming into play too. It's just it's been fun so far, you know, and I'm excited to see where it goes because I have seen some rumors, which I don't know if you want to talk too much about the rumors, but they are still rumors at this stage, so like who knows. Um, but these rumors get me extremely excited,
Okay.
extremely excited. Oh
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I need to know more to really
yeah.
sink
Again, this
into
is
it.
only the first 2 episodes, so that's it. We
Yeah.
don't know
I
if we're
don't
going to enjoy it as a whole, but
Yeah, I don't love the girl in this, but
mm,
maybe I'll change my mind.
yeah, she
She
does seem. What is it?
It just feels very
Not
Disney with her in it.
not clingy, not clingy, but she's very eager to learn, I guess, you know, would be a thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it kind of seems like she might come off as annoying to
Maybe that's what
Hawkeye.
it is.
It's maybe she just sort of seems like a child basically,
Yeah.
like you've sort of always got to take care of and you've got to look over your shoulder and it's like, but yeah. And I get what you mean by it feels very Disney because I do understand what you mean. It does feel quite Disney. Maybe it might be the Christmassy vibe
I think
that's
so.
giving
It's
it
very
that
like
for me
Home
too. It's like,
Alone.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like it feels very much like the Disney holiday movie,
Yeah,
the
feel
annual one they
good.
come with every year, that like
Yeah.
goes straight to DVD or like straight to like it's yeah. I
I just
kind of
need
get
a
that.
bit more
Um,
like, and we only
yeah,
just recently at the end of episode 2 kind of saw the bad guy. I assume she's the bad.
yeah,
Not sure who she
yeah. Like
is.
we're starting to get little increments of
Yeah.
plot, you know.
So it's
Um,
really hard to say with the first 2 episodes
yeah, yeah.
of what it's going to be like.
Yeah. No, I get that. Um, can I talk about my
The
potential plot
rumors?
point?
Sure.
Yes. So I take this with a grain of salt,
Okay.
but I did see an article about a week ago when this
Mhm.
came out, because it came out last Wednesday, and we do get new episodes today, actually, speaking of that. But last week, I did see that there were rumors that they will be introducing, um, what's his face? Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, in this series,
Okay.
which
Is
is incredibly
Kingpin
exciting.
the Spider-Man in Spider?
His yes. So that yeah, exactly. The big dude in that is Kingpin. And yeah, in the comics, he is very much like a B level villain, I would say. Like
Okay.
he's no Green Goblin. He's no like Doctor Octopus, nothing like that.
Yeah.
He's like a B grade villain where
Yeah.
like he'll be the villain for Daredevil and Spider Man and Hawkeye and a couple of like the lower tier sort
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
characters, I guess, if that makes sense. Like the more street level characters is a good way to
Yeah.
do it. But yeah, a very interesting one was I don't know if they've recast a new Wilson Fisk or if they're going to use I think his name is Wilfred D'Onofrio from the Daredevil Netflix TV show because he was incredible
Okay.
as uh as Kingpin. Incredible.
Well, they
I
probably
cannot
will have him
like
back if.
I cannot like applaud his performance
Yeah.
anymore. It was
Okay.
so good. Um so yeah, I'd be quite disappointed if they did recast
Hmm.
Kingpin because he was so good, but I would be incredibly excited if they did see him return in the role. That would be absolutely outstanding. But one of the most interesting points was like in the comics and in Spider-Verse 2, in the Spider-Verse animated movie,
Mhm.
they made him quite comically large.
Yeah. Okay.
More so than what a normal human would be,
Right.
But in the comics he is quite a large like character physically, like he's not as huge as what he was in Spider-Verse, but he is quite a beefy guy.
Mhm.
And so the rumor stated that he was going to be introduced in this series, in the Hawkeye series, um, but he would be played by an actor that was playing in like, for lack of a better term, like a fat suit or like a
Right.
bigger
Yep.
sort of like sort of body morphed structure to make him look more physically intimidating or larger.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's kind of interesting, you know? Like it's very interesting if they're gonna go the very heavy comic book route and make him, larger than a normal like person, which is yeah.
All right.
So that was my rumor, and that was why I was like if they do that, that's going to be incredible. I
Yeah.
cannot wait if they do that, but we'll have to wait and see, you know? Like,
Like
we'll have to wait and see.
everything.
And what leads to, like, what leads into this is the fact that, like, they've already introduced it in episodes 1 and 2, but, like, the gangs are playing quite a heavy role in this,
Seems
you
like
know?
that, yeah.
And Kingpin is very much like, he's like a gangster, a mobster,
Oh,
you
okay,
know,
yeah.
that kind of thing. And so he controls a fair bit of, like, the dark depths of New York City and all that, where he has a lot of people working for him and, you know, all that sort of thing. So it's yeah, it seems like it could be going that way, but who knows? Who knows? But yeah. Hawkeye episode 3 comes out today though, so we'll have to finish this off and then go and record that and watch that.
Watch
Sorry,
it, yeah.
and we'll get our thoughts on that next week when we record. But yeah, before we wrap up the gens, was there anything you wanted to add on? Because we are just under an hour now, so I feel like it's a good time to
That's very a good
end
time
it
to
before we go
wrap it
into
up.
before we go into anything too more.
Yeah.
But yeah, was there anything you wanted to add on?
No, nothing for me.
Yeah, no, nothing from me either, guys, as usual. But we hope you're enjoying the podcast. Thank you guys for letting us take a break off last week. It was quite nice to sort of just relax and not stress about if the podcast was scheduled and if it had uploaded properly and all that sort of stuff. But you know, we're back to our normal schedules now, so we will thank you guys for listening and thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all next week. Bye bye.
Bye.